sweethearts and lovelies, and welcome back to Quantum Leap Reviews, where we've dived right back in to Season 5 and the macrocosm of all macrocosms. Well, maybe that's the Season 5 opener. Goodbye, Norma Jean!
Most of our show has been, most of our, looks into Quantum Leap at this point right now has been Season 5.
This is our third Season 5 leap?
Fourth. I think this is our fourth or fifth.
Okay, hang on. Dr. Ruth, The Revenge of the Evil Leaper, this... I'm pretty sure it's only third.
Yeah, I think we're only at 3.
Oh, okay.
Though I think it's the most we've seen of any of the seasons. I think we got 1 or 2 for the other seasons.
Yeah,
given that we've had a lot of side trips along the way.
Yes.
Which I do like our side trips. Our side trips are...
As long as it's not all side trips featuring Quantum Leap. That's the only thing I'm anxious about. Here, I'm the one who have to put on the show. Okay, here's Quantum Leap Reviews. For our third episode, we're talking about Star Trek! But we're talking about actual Quantum Leap today, after our last side trip into the wide world of Jessica Fletcher commits every crime but murder, but I digress.
Fun fact, Mrs. Marple is going to be in the public domain next year.
Oh, well. There's some fun.
I'm just
okay, but
As is Nancy Drew.
Okay.
Oh,
Sean, I just hit on a wonderful idea. What if nobody's ever had this idea before? What if we take one of those public domain characters and make a low-budget slasher movie featuring them?
Oh, geez.
Honestly, kind of surprised we haven't done that with Sherlock Holmes yet.
I mean,
no. Well, the thing is it the stuff with Sherlock Holmes that just entered public domain is everything after the fall. So it's everything that gave Sherlock personality, more personality, and Watson's second wife, and
this is what TNG got in trouble for when they used Moriarty, and it's like, oh, that wasn't in the public domain. Shit.
Yeah.
Wait,
yeah,
Watson's second wife?
Yeah. After the fall, Watson gets something happens with Mary, and he gets a second wife. I think there's a daughter somewhere mixed in the stuff in the afterfall. When everyone thinks of Sherlock Holmes, they think of everything before the falls.
Mm.
So after the fall is when he gets actual personality and interesting character development. But before then is the stuff everybody knows of.
Yeah, and after the fall, he goes to the 22nd century. Which
No.
No, he dies of natural causes, and then he gets resurrected into the 22nd century.
Yeah. Of course. Natural, of course. Because what else makes sense? So, we're in Season 5 of Quantum Leap, which is the big, bombastic, microcosmic season, and I'm honestly surprised that it only took... You must have commented on it before now. The theme tune is just...
Yeah, it's not good. Also, breathe.
Also what?
I don't hate the new theme. It's just this theme doesn't fit. The old one was really much more much more fit Quantum Leap. Well, this one's very much like look at everything we can do now.
Yeah, I feel like it's the difference between an 80s show theme song for a sci-fi show and a 90s show theme song for a sci-fi show.
Yeah, I mean, for better or worse, it perfectly fits the vibe they're going for, which is big, grandiose, macrocosmic, as befitting the fact that they opened this season with the fucking Lee Harvey Oswald leap. But this is another big historical figure leap, because we're talking about Marilyn Monroe. Oh, we're actually getting into, a real famous person that we all know and love, and the drawbacks that come with that sort of territory.
Before Sean begins, because I know Sean's going to have a lot to talk about.
Oh, yeah.
Right off the bat. Sam's history, all this leaps and all this stuff, must have been drab as hell. Holy God, especially when you find out in the Lee Harvey Oswald, the very first one to do this sort of of fixing history back to to our history.
Hmm.
Good God!
Yeah, well, they only do that trick here and in the JFK. So this is a trick that they came up with because when you run into the idea of let's do an actual famous person in Quantum Leap, you run into the problem of okay, well, this show is about putting right what once went wrong. Do we actually go in and undo the famous historical person's untimely passing? And both times
Yeah,
they went no, but here's our compromise. We can posit that the original history in Quantum Leap is a slightly worse version of actual history, and then Sam can alter things so that it matches up with the actual timeline. So, for example, to spoil the JFK episode, in the original history, this is a last minute reveal right at the very end. In the original history, both John F. Kennedy and Jackie Kennedy were assassinated by Lee Harvey Oswald. But in the episode, Sam leaps into a Secret Service agent just in time to save Jackie Kennedy from also being shot. And that's what actually happened in history. And so, putting right what once went wrong, quotation marks.
Yeah, before I get into my tangent, the thing that I'm thinking about right now is, okay, so y'all are familiar with the death of Superman, right? Where he gets
Yes.
he gets beaten to death by Bonesman McGee.
Yes.
Or whatever the fuck his name was.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so in the aftermath of Superman's death, a time traveler character from the future. Honestly, he's one of those '90s characters that you don't remember the name of.
I'm starting to remember this now.
Yeah, so he finds out that Superman dies and goes back in time to prevent Superman's death from the hands of Bonesman McGee.
Doomsday.
No. Let him have it. Let him have it.
Let me have Bonesman McGee. It's a much better name than Doomsday.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So,
I'm just
another time traveler goes to stop him from preventing Superman from being killed by Bonesman McGee, and makes the argument, well, if you're going to bring back Superman, why not save MLK? Why not save Gandhi? I'd sure love to hear more Bach music or understand more science through Einstein, which, yeah, why don't they? Hey, why? Like, you're seriously, the argument seems to be you're justifying Superman alone when the actual argument there is, yeah, why don't we just save MLK from being assassinated?
Okay, there's two things to this. One, Quantum Leap, thankfully, is able to dodge this moral quandary by the fact that Sam is not in control of the leaps. And so...
Right. Sam is not in control of the leaps, but given the nature of this episode and the JFK one, we will no doubt have a lot of words to talk about. Probably one of us will have to watch the Oliver Stone movie that episode is reacting to.
Yeah.
And it's on
think
YouTube.
we have to take
and
that
I'm just gonna let you know the Oliver Stone movie is on YouTube. And I did consider watching it this week. I decided against it. Instead, I watched A Leap to Die For and almost. Basically, the writer of that is a Quantum Leap fan. Everything else feels like a low budget fan film.
Yeah, well, that's another real historical thing and at least you could say that JFK and Marilyn Monroe are like in history. There were 30 years. They were gone for 30 years before Quantum Leap came along and said, "Let's make stories about the real people." When did the Leap to Die For? A Leap to Die For came out like the 2000s.
2009. 2009.
12 years. She was dead for 12 years, and you make this.
Yeah.
So Marilyn Monroe, noted actress who died young, had a lot of personal turmoils in her life that involved drug addiction and ultimately ended with a supposed suicide. I say supposed because there are conspiracy theories regarding her and JFK.
Well, of course.
Well, not just that. Well, it's not just that one. It's the fact of like, again, like people talk about because people came up with like all sorts because again, she was
An icon.
she was it. I mean, she was one of the most. Yes, her movies didn't back then didn't do as well. I like, especially like even the movie that Sam makes makes happen here,
Mm.
and the movie she did right before this, they didn't do well. It was only until after when all the when they became classics and cult classics did they actually begin to do well. But everyone still loved Marilyn because Marilyn was this bigger than life personality. It's like Judy Garland, same style, same way with Judy Garland.
All right, I'll let
And
you have
again,
this one because we're talking about the troubled stuff. I'll let you have this Oz reference, Mike. I'm
no,
generous.
it's not even.
It's
No,
Thanksgiving.
it's not
I'll
just.
give it to you.
It's not just an Oz reference. It's Judy herself. Judy's life, like just like Marilyn's. If you look at oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth noting the full nature of the film that she's going to be in at the end of this, being The Misfits. It was written by Arthur Miller, a acclaimed stage playwright notable for doing Death of a Salesman. Arthur Miller was adapting his own short story, also called The Misfits. Arthur Miller was also Marilyn Monroe's final husband. They would divorce over the course of the making of The Misfits. At the time the episode came out, they were married for a good couple of years, for about 4 years.
It's April
Weren't they
1960. The leap takes place.
Yeah, weren't they already separated? Well, they weren't divorced, but weren't they separated by the time?
I give it. The breakdown was happening during the production.
Well, I can't wait to see what Arthur Miller has to do in this episode. Oh, wait.
Yeah, it really does feel like they wanted to focus on Marilyn, but in doing that, you've completely written out the last actual like good time she had with her husband.
It's like
with her second husband.
If you're gonna do a historical figure, at least kind of stick to the actual details of the historical figures. Otherwise, you're just flat out writing fan fiction. I mean, you kind of are writing fan because you didn't have an assistant who came in and tried to upstage her as we do in the thing. You are on some level writing gossip about real people when you do a celebrity leap, but try to have at least some consistency.
I think the key with doing historical leaps is ultimately, you have to treat it with honesty even as you change it. Yeah. You can have, say, Sam does something that prevents her from killing herself or dying years earlier, but you can't. You have to include as many of the details as you can. You can't whitewash a messy divorce. You can't ignore the fact that Clark Gable died 12 days before the film was released, especially given one of the more spookier coincidences. Marilyn Monroe died on Clark Gable's 60th birthday.
Oh my god. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, no, sorry. The film was released on his 60th birthday.
Okay. Marilyn died on August.
Sorry, I mixed up my information. Filming completed 12 days before Clark Gable died, and The Misfits was released on his 60th birthday.
I see.
It just.
Now, see,
you really do. Well, I understand why they wanted to write. When you sit down and think about it, I'm gonna put my feelings on the end of the episode aside. I'm just gonna talk about, because that is completely different. The feelings I have towards that scene in particular is very different from the episode.
Okay.
So the episode itself, it really does feel like they try to. It really does feel like they try to make Marilyn this saint, not saintly figure, but more like she wasn't as troubled as she really was in this point in her life.
Yeah, they wanted to be able to be aired on TV. If that
Fair.
isn't
Yeah.
go.
Uh,
So they have to whitewash all the details.
mm.
Which, if you're going to do Marilyn Monroe and treat her humanity honestly, rather than having her be just another tragic woman in who died tragically, you have to be honest with her flaws and all.
And there's
Which
another thing to go back and compare with the JFK episode. I f- so we're gonna get into that when we get into it, whenever we spin it on the wheel. But that episode did feel like it came from there was a motivation behind it because of the entire backstory with the executive producer of Quantum Leap, Donald Belisario, who one actually briefly had an encounter with Lee Harvey Oswald in the military, where it was a memorable, wow, that guy was a fucking weirdo. And then, come years later, he sees the news on TV, November 1963. It's like, that's the guy! That's that fucking weirdo!
Yeah, there is a yeah, and just to speak on that, there is a Murder She Wrote episode where they go
Of
into
course there is!
well, here's the thing: they go into the mob, conspiracy theory angle.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah, they go into the mob conspiracy theory angle, and that there are negatives. I think showing, Lee Harvey. I think showing Lee Harvey Oswald. Basically saying that it was different from what the Warren Commission did, and so the mob's like trying to stop them. It doesn't outright say that JFK died because of the mob. What it's saying is that there was more to the story. But
yeah,
and also,
I mean, there's
the
a Columbo
world.
novel. Oh, which
yeah,
do you have the Columbo novel with JFK?
no, but I've heard
How
it's
many of these
bad.
fucking shows did JFK? Oh my god!
The thing about JFK is that this is a conversation we'll have in even more depth when we get to it.
Yeah.
But JFK is very much an American institution. His assassination is basically part of American mythology.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And big
And
Macrocosm.
so
That's something about American mythology.
yeah, and indirectly, so is his brothers.
But
His brothers.
yeah. The other thing I wanted to mention was with Donald Belisario and the thing is that he also had the motivation of and we will talk about this because we just threatened. Oh God, we're gonna have to watch it. The Oliver Stone film JFK had come out recently, and the Sun had seen it and was talking about, oh my God, they had this great big conspiracy about JFK. He was killed because of Vietnam, and he's like, that's a load of horse shit. That guy was just unstable, and he went up to the building with a gun, bang, bang, bang. And you can feel that motivation in the episode. Alan Gucci literally discussed. It's just like, there's no conspiracy. It's just one weirdo with a fucking gun who did the worst thing imaginable.
Which assassinating a politician is being the worst thing imaginable is
Well, yeah.
sure, Jan.
Well,
yeah.
It was the 90s. We were in
hi.
the end of history period. But the point is, there's that motivation there. What's the motivation driving this Marilyn leap? Hey, wow, the JFK leap sure did good. Let's do another famous historical person, Marilyn Monroe.
Except it happened in the same season.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that was the weird. Yeah, it almost feels like they wrote JFK, they wrote Lee Harvey Oswald, and then went, since we have JFK.
Yeah, since JFK and Marilyn were allegedly involved.
So we could do Marilyn. And in the same time period, you had Elvis, which
Elvis is like
now thinking about it, in terms of everything, you have the gut punch that's so uncomfortable to watch, but like you should watch it at least once with JFK, with Lee Harvey Oswald. Marilyn, which is a whitewashed version of keeping Marilyn the saint, even though that's not anywhere near how she was. And then you had, what if we tried to use the quantum leap idea of helping an unknown put right what went wrong, or another famous person while he's in a famous person, and that's Elvis.
Coincidentally, about 5 episodes after the Marilyn Leap, Quantum Leap was canceled.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
things happen
This is very much a
eventually.
grasping at straws of trying to get the ratings back and get attention on the show with doing these great big things in season 5. They're going big. They're going for the Hail Mary pass, you know? JFK, evil leapers, more historical leaps, fucking aliens.
Go back in time. Got the first leap where
Dr.
Sam
Ruth.
leaps into the one where Sam actually leaps into one of his ancestors.
Yeah,
which
yeah.
Is gonna be,
A lot of weird, a lot of crazy gonzo gimmicks that are designed to, you know, try to get attention. It didn't work, but we at least got mirror image out of it before it went bye-bye, which is... Mirror image is perfect, as we say, but we'll discuss that in our final episode of this podcast. For the original run, anyway. Maybe we'll do the reboot. I don't know. But anyway, Marilyn.
I'm just gonna state it outright. I hate the undersecretary. I hate the understudy.
Yeah, I don't really know how to feel about having... And then there was this one person who made her life worse.
Yeah.
That's the thing with historical leaps.
The understudy is... Fun fact, which Fresno reminded me of, and then I immediately realized who it was.
No.
This actress, Barbara, the understudy, has been in another episode of Quantum Leap before, and also in that episode, she was a horrible, horrible human being, just like she is here.
Oh, what episode was that,
Fresno,
Mike?
Why, that was the trial of Katie McBain.
Oh boy, that's gonna be a wild one when we get to it.
Yes. It could be any time. We don't know how that wheel will react, so treat it with dignity and grace. But yeah, we need an antagonist for this episode, and I mean, it's not like the Kennedy episode where you have an obvious antagonist right there in the history book. No, Marilyn just died because of her own tragedy and her own life choices. So how do we have an antagonist in the episode? I know.
Yeah, it really does feel like what they tried to do. What they tried to do is they tried to have their cake and eat it too. They're like, we got to show Marilyn, we got to show some semblance of the true Marilyn without showing the true Marilyn, and that's why we get the party scene. And I'm going to tell you this right now: all the people in that house. Everyone in that house would be like brought up is it not involuntary? Is it involuntary manslaughter? But like all the people would be brought up on charges.
So yeah, here's a fun fact for you. I'm pretty sure, given the way that we said how Quantum Leap posits worse presents and then aligns them with ours, I'm pretty sure this was in the original history where Marilyn Monroe died. So in the original history, all of these people probably did face extreme charges and or jail time.
Yeah. Now this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone involved in this scene should die.
Oh God! But
literally. The dude, Sam's yelling, "Get a doctor!"
And you have JFK's brother-in-law being like, "What are you doing? No, don't do that. You're killing her." Which, yeah. But I also need to bring up a factoid from Matt Dale's book, because I always read the late Matt Dale's book on the episodes after I watch, and he pointed out something interesting in its horrific implications. So the only reason Marilyn is at this party is because Barbara was like, "Oh no, but they called and they said they'd love to have you." And the only reason Barbara is here is because Sam was like, "Oh, Marilyn, come on, give her a chance."
Yeah. So did Sam cause this bad timeline to happen, or
I don't know. I honestly want to headcanon that Marilyn probably would have changed her mind in the original history, and this is where she died in the original Quantum Leap history, because going down that rabbit hole has nasty implications that I don't want to deal with.
Yeah.
like there are nasty implications to Quantum Leap. You know, like you could probably have some conversations regarding Quantum Leap and race. Case that we probably are a bit too white to have.
Well, we're going to have to talk about those
Justice.
episodes at some point.
Justice.
But,
Hi, Black on White on Fire.
Hi, Color of Truth.
Or for that matter, the one that... Why am I blanking on the name of that one? The one... It was an early one we covered with the preacher and his daughter.
Song for the Soul. Blech.
Song for the Soul. Yeah, that one. Yeah, the racial implications of that episode where we don't even... I mean, we don't even learn... Yeah, that's just icky for a lot of reasons.
Well, that episode was icky for a lot of reasons, so let's see the back of it.
Yeah, so, but what I'm saying is that there are unfortunate implications to Quantum Leap if you stick with its premise. But this, you know, having Sam be responsible for the thing that he has to fix, if we go down that rabbit hole, kind of breaks Quantum Leap. Because the whole narrative structure is Sam goes to a situation that is already broken and has to work to fix it as best he can.
Yeah. But,
if you have, and then Sam breaks history, without it being something that it's explicitly doing, like say, off the top of my head, Sam goes back in time and prevents Al from getting lost in the jungle.
Yeah, which that has its own. Well, Leap Home.
That's the Elvis one. That's the Elvis one where because he helped this lady, because he helped them, all of Elvis's songs end up being sung by other bands, and so he has to put right what he himself. Basically,
my God!
Help this lady. So it's basically you help this lady, and now you have to put history on the proper course.
What? Celebrity leaps were a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. God, yeah. So they're breaking the fucking rules of the show just for the sake of getting ratings. Of hey, look, Elvis. You remember Elvis, don't you?
One episode later, the show was canceled.
Well, no. The Elvis episode's actually pretty good because it, again, tries to follow the rules of Quantum Leap. It's just, you are a celebrity who has to do the things that you yourself have to get famous. Mm-hmm. But you, in this body, are the only one to help, are the only person who can help this person.
It's a balancing act between. It's a balance. It seems like I haven't seen the episode since my first watch of the series, so it seems like what Mike is describing is a tug of war between macrocosm and microcosm, where it's like you have to balance saving and you have to balance putting an ordinary life, quote unquote, better, while also preserving this big celebrity history thing.
Yeah, because if you don't.
No Elvis. Oh no.
I think they said Hound Dog. It's sung by the Monkees. I think that's what they said.
Oh no! How horrible! It's a television show. Who gives a shit? Oh no! History will be changed so that the singer you boomers remember is gone. Oh no!
Yeah, and if Elvis didn't sing it, maybe Big Mama Thornton would have been famous for it.
Johnny Orlando and Dawn do Jailhouse Rock.
All these white people stealing music from other artists.
Yeah.
Womp, womp, womp. So, and I mean, it's like I get you're sticking on the straight and narrow here, but what would be the big deal if in your television show that's about to be fucking canceled? Okay, that's me with the benefit of the crystal ball, knowing that this is the end of classic Quantum Leap. But what would the difference be if you say, oh, Marilyn Monroe lived to 1980 and she made like 5 more movies in this year? You're never gonna see a reference it again. Go on.
Yeah, it really does feel like season 5 was this big tug of war of we must stick with the rules, but at the same time, can we bend them? Not break them. Can we bend them?
Yeah, it's like going to Doctor Who for a second. I forget the name of it. The Van Gogh episode.
Vincent and the Doctor.
Yeah.
That's
Vincent
it.
and the
Yeah,
Doctor.
they do the whole thing where they bring him to the future and it's really emotional, like, oh, we've done it, we saved him, and he still dies, but there's a point to it. There's a point to, oh, history stayed exactly as it was. The point being that you can't beat depression that easy, but it's still a life worth lived and all that. And he died knowing that he's appreciated and loved in the future. So you did, in a way, make things better, but history remained as it was.
Yeah, which
There's a point
you
to
can't
that.
fix depression. Yeah, it was you can't fix depression like that, but you can show that that your stuff goes on and becomes one of the most, which you could tell how badly he just like how much it hit Van Gogh
That's
for
one of the most
seeing
moving Doctor Who scenes of all time. But what does this have? This has Sam and Al going, oh, we've got to save Marilyn. She's like an icon. And what they end up doing is, again, slightly worse history. They get the Misfits made. And that's it.
I mean, it's not the most popular Arthur Miller thing, and if I'm being honest, it's perfectly okay. But really? That is what you're fighting for? Marilyn Monroe's last film. That was completed.
Yep.
Yeah,
honestly, honestly, thinking about the story, the version I kind of want to exist is, I mean, you could do it without Marilyn Monroe, but you could also do it with her. But if you're going to do this path, it's the night of her death, and Sam leaps into somebody who is not, who is nearby, right, and sees it happen, and he goes into her house and finds her dying, and he realizes there's no saving her. She is going to die. So the episode is just a two-hander between Sam and Marilyn where they just talk for an hour.
Oh, hi, a leap to die for. How did you get here?
No, not.
Wait, that's seriously what a leap.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
like literally, that is it. Literally, Sam leaps in 24 hours before Diana's death, and the thing that the thing that he fixes, or at least gets her to do, the leap that he's there is something connected to the death, but he leaps into 24 hours before Diana's death and actually gets her to have a final phone conversation with her sons.
Oh my
so he gets one
I'm
more
not
phone.
even suggesting that. I'm just suggesting that the thing that Sam does isn't she doesn't die alone.
Yeah.
So, speaking of two-handers involving Marilyn Monroe, I feel like this is as good a segue as any to mention the thing that I shared with Mike and Sean. So, this is our first time talking about the, I believe it's the Renovation Comics Quantum Leap run. 13 comics, expanded universe stuff of varying quality. We have the Stonewall comic on the wheel, but...
Yeah.
God help us.
Yeah. For people who don't understand, all of the Quantum Leap novels and Quantum Leap comics, if I do believe, they're meant to be interspliced. They're not supposed to be after a mirror image. That is the one thing that NBC made clear. All the writers made clear. Mirror image is the stopgap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the final Quantum Leap novel is like right before Mirror Image.
Yeah, so it is the stopgap. Yeah. So a lot of them basically try to take measure of that each novel and each comic or whatever is like within the series. Yeah. You just don't know when.
And a bunch of them are sequel stories, like the aforementioned Stonewall, or Angels Unaware, or I'm blanking on the third one, but so we need to discuss issue 12.
Isn't there I think there's a Katie McBain sequel.
I'm not sure. God help us if there is, but issue 12 of the comic run is called Waiting. And Sam leaps into an elderly gas station attendant in the middle of the fucking desert. And for the most of the comic's runtime, it's just him and Al talking. They talk about quantum physics. They talk about philosophy. They talk about the reason why Sam is leaping. They just talk.
Yeah, it's also worth noting that this is the final issue of the Quantum Leap comic.
Well, there's one more, but because I don't know the exact story, but I think Renovation fucking went out of business or ran out of money or something. So the final Quantum Leap comic, issue 13, is, I shit you not, Sam Beckett leaps into a fucking alien, an actual non-humanoid extraterrestrial, abducting people and running experiments on them, and the comic is like half finished because they ran out of fucking money.
Yeah, it's it's half. I think the implications is that these are one of the aliens from Starlight Starbright, which doesn't make sense in context.
Don't think about that too hard. You're gonna give yourself a headache.
Yeah.
But this is one of the standout issues of the comic book run for me, just because Sam and Al talking. It's something that you don't really get. Just a quiet moment between our two leads, and I really love it. And how this connects to why we're talking about it now is because near the end of the comic, a girl shows up in a fancy car. She's lost. She needs gas and directions. And Al mentions that according to Ziggy, oh, she's just some minor actress who has like one bit part in one movie. I don't know, whatever. And then, Sam gives her gas, gives her directions. She gives him a thank you note, and then Al is like, "Oh my God, Sam! Whoa, you changed history. That wasn't she was a bit actress before, but now she's Marilyn Monroe."
Yeah, that's why I don't buy Dale's story. I don't buy Dale's story of this.
Well,
because Matt Dale says that this and this is weeks. That comic was weeks before.
No, Mike. You misunderstood what I was saying. I'm not talking about in universe. I'm talking about when they came out in the real world.
Oh.
Yeah. Looking up, the comic was written by Scott Rockwell, who's mostly done Disney stuff, but also adapted the first two Discworld novels, The Color of Magic and why am I blanking on the second one's name? The Light Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And was drawn by Mike Diodato Sr., not Jr., Sr. Mike Diodato Sr. is, historically speaking, was a minor, he didn't have as prolific a career as his son did.
Okay.
He mostly did a lot of my, he was mostly a journalist and broadcaster, most notable for doing Fallout 3000. But his son, Mike Diodato Jr., is arguably one of the most prolific artists of the early 21st century.
Oh, wow.
Especially working at Marvel, having done Original Sin in Thunderbolts and a few other titles.
Wow. So, did we think that the comic is a better Marilyn Monroe leap than the actual televised
absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Like that one. Actually, I really like that one. I really. That's how if you're gonna do like a Marilyn Monroe story, do the comic version. Do the one where random happenstance and luck turns a B-list one bit playing actress into the star she would become. Here's the problem though. Lucky however that also does put Sam in that sort of icky spot of what Sean was talking about early on about making a bad future for somebody.
Well,
To quote, you made a comparison in the Discord talking about the difference between Marilyn Monroe and Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Judy burnt out. Marilyn was swallowed by it.
Yeah. Quoting I think John Huston, the director of The Misfits, who does make an appearance towards the end of the episode, looking very much like he's about to star in The Other Side of the Wind. He was absolutely certain that she was doomed. There was evidence right before me almost every day. She was incapable of rescuing herself or of being rescued by anyone else. And it sometimes affected her work. We had to stop the picture her while she went to the hospital for 2 weeks. The actual production of the Misfits was hectic, not even ignoring the divorce that was the Mexican divorce that was happening.
It wasn't even just because of Marilyn. Like it was.
Yeah,
Like-
this again. This was 12. The production ended 12 days before Clark Gable died.
Yeah, like Clark Gable was not in the best of health. Marilyn's health. Like when you look at the productions of some of these old movies, and I'm including The Wizard of Oz in that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's a wonder. It is a wonder some of these films got made.
The production of The Wizard of Oz is a fucking nightmare, by the way.
Oh
Yeah,
my.
A few months back, I read the novelization for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and there's an entire chapter dedicated to a Western actor whose name, Aldo Rain.
Mm-hmm.
Aldo Ray, who basically there were two. One of the rules they drill into your head when you get your SAG card is that you do not get Aldo Ray drunk.
Oh dear.
You do not give him alcohol. Well, he was that kind of alcoholic.
Oh, nasty.
There were a lot of figures like that. You had actors who were undiagnosed bipolar, who suffered with alcoholism, depression. And the fact of the matter is, Hollywood made works of art that people love to this very day, but it's also a machine of capitalism and will chew and spit everyone out.
Johnny, the one of the most famous stories about alcoholism that I've heard that I remember, and this was a story it was out of the blue how I found this years ago when I was getting into, I think it was during college, but where I first heard of it, it was Mike Wallace was interviewing Johnny Carson, and Mike Wallace asked him about alcohol, and Johnny just chuckles and he's like, "You hit right on the," and he's like, "Yeah, I don't handle it well at all. While everyone gets gregarious and happy go lucky and loves everybody, I go the opposite way and want to punch people in the face."
Yeah.
Which makes, the fictitious, I assume fictitious, Barbara's actions in this episode all the fucking worse. Oh, Marilyn, oh, here's some orange juice. Oh, this is a mimosa. Oh, that's just the way my dad used to make them. You just have fun with that. I'm going to take your part.
Yeah, having the conniving actress who's doing whatever it takes to get on top feels a bit icky in a story based off of a real historical figure.
Yeah.
Like if you were doing a story about Hollywood based around a fictional historical figure, sure.
100%. Yeah, 100%. That would fit.
But with actual, there was this Netflix miniseries from a few years back called Hollywood that had, why am I blanking on his name? Guy who was in Written on the Wind, noted gay actor who died of AIDS and was friends with but
Rock Hudson. No, not Rock Hudson.
Yeah, Rock Hudson. Rock Hudson, that's it.
Rock Hudson. Okay.
Yeah. They basically give Rock Hudson a happy ending.
He very much did not have a happy
ending.
Yeah, fucking Ryan Murphy.
Yeah, he did not have a happy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a lot of people who are listening to this, their only experience with Rock Hudson would probably be that one Doctor Who episode.
What?
Yeah.
Lux.
I see.
Yeah. Which again, I very funny that they had the Rock Hudson nod in Lux.
Yeah.
And even then, you don't really see Rock Hudson. You just see his name on the nameplate for the film.
Hell, yeah, like even Doctor Who knew how to, like, even when they just said his name, like they treat it with the respect of, like, yeah, the dude did not have a good life.
I mean, Doctor
Richard
Who is
Nixon, meanwhile, fuck him.
who?
Richard Nixon.
Oh yeah, fucking yeah. Doctor Who has a weird track record with historical figures. They really do like to whitewash some of the more problematic. Nixon, like you mentioned, Winston Churchill.
Yep.
Yeah, Winston Churchill. If you want to know a little bit about, if you want to know, like, a little bit better portrayal of Winston Churchill, go watch The Crown, like the first season of the, or yeah, the first set. Or go watch, like, the Fae, not the Fae, the early days of Queen Elizabeth. Because that's where you get the Winston who's like, I will not leave my spot, even though he's, like, very much in decline.
Yeah.
He's like, I will be in this chair.
Of course, with Winston Churchill, they still whitewash the whole, the Nazis are actually kind of good guys. We should side with the Nazis.
Yeah.
Which, the actual Doctor Who episode accidentally gets there by saying, "Look at my new Daleks, ain't they great?"
Yeah.
But that's very accidental. Yeah. But
yeah,
that's besides the point.
They whitewash Winston, but they do not whitewash Prince Edward. Oh no.
Oh god.
Yeah. They. Yeah. On the other hand, with Winston Churchill and the Daleks, the fan suggested fix of that episode being there's a Nazi spy working in the bunker, and Doctor Who has to team up with the Nazi spy, which
No.
Why? No. Like, that just makes it worse. May I point you to Spyfall and everything that happened in Spyfall between the Doctor and the Master on the Eiffel Tower.
There were many things wrong with Spyfall. I was like, you're gonna have to be more specific, Mike, about your problem with Spyfall. But then you talk with the Master, I'm like, okay, yes.
Yeah, like that's the connection between that's the connection between what I just heard and that.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of respecting history, having one of the historical figures that pops up in Spyfall and filming her execution.
Oh, thank God that didn't get into the episode.
I can't believe they actually did that. That was
goodness
gracious. When you find out that they actually did that, and that it was like so close to being aired, that would have killed Chris Chibnall era.
Yeah.
Full stop. Full stop.
Okay.
Full stop.
I'm not throwing too much shade on Chibnall right now.
Well, but the reason I say that is because you are literally showing on television a filmed yes, you have like movies like the one Tom Cruise movie yes, like that one, that, like, you had that, but this is a TV show for all ages.
God.
On New Year's Day.
Yeah. Oh boy. Chibnall era bashing is kind of like shooting fish in a barrel, but yeah. But one of my final factor before we get off that tangent, hopefully, is I remember hearing this from somewhere, some Discord somewhere, that the commentary track for Spyfall goes silent for like 6 or 7 minutes when it's the Doctor and the Master on the Eiffel Tower. Allegedly.
Yeah, it's almost like it's almost like
Marilyn. They're trying to make her out to be the tragic. I mean, it is a tragic thing that she died. They're trying to make her out to be this tragic figure who's like living under this illusion line. It's like, guys, Laura Palmer's right there.
Oh, speaking of which, fun fact about Marilyn Monroe. In the 1980s, two creative figures by the names of David Lynch and Mark Frost were working on a project together about Marilyn Monroe based around the conspiracy angle regarding her death. They're going to be adapting a novel. I think it's called The Empress, though I might be misremembering. This project ultimately fell through, but a lot of the notes they had for this project would make the foundations upon which Twin Peaks was built.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so Marilyn Monroe is the reason why Twin Peaks, or at least the first season of Twin Peaks, came about, which is, and then season 2 happened, in which David Lynch threw all notes into the fire and went, "Let's go crazy."
They made him. No, he didn't throw all notes in the fire. They made him solve it, and then it's like, I don't give a shit anymore. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just,
Yeah,
it was just
Mark
lied
and
all.
David. Yeah. Unfortunately, the Twin Peaks podcast is kind of dead because honestly, I wasn't ready to do it.
It happens. But Sean, in a amazing piece of synchronicity, what were we going to do as our next episode?
The third episode that it did not get recorded was going to be on the Misfits.
So when I'm like,
which we were supposed to record tomorrow.
Oh my god, the synchronicity is swirling, kids. You can't escape it.
So instead of doing The Misfits, which is the movie that Sam inadvertently saves, we're doing the Quantum Leap episode. That's why the wheel picked this.
That the wheel is vast
sentient.
The wheel is vast and unknowable, and it must be respected. But
magic always tends to go the way you want it to.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
Yeah, but I'm just gonna put this now where the low point of, so you go from low point of episode where Marilyn's been like, Dennis, you're fired. I'm listening to Barbara. Yeah. Barbara's right about everything.
Oh no, but Barbara's gaslighting you. No, I'm not. No, she isn't.
Yeah, like she sides with Barbara.
It's like that second love. It's the most trite second act misunderstanding horse shit you've ever seen. And like, oh.
Yeah.
And then it slowly builds up. And I will say this. Besides the ending, I do like the little bit where Dennis is sitting with Marilyn in the kitchen, where Sam is talking to Marilyn, and Marilyn is a person. Where you show Marilyn. Yeah. Not as the big bombastic.
I mean, the name of the episode is not Goodbye Marilyn Monroe.
It's Goodbye Norma Jean.
Which is a reference to Elton John.
Yeah. So you really get Marilyn as who she was, without all the cover and the mask and everything. And when he finally gets her to the audition, infuriating Barbara.
Barbara, go get some orange juice for us, sweetie.
Yeah. She puts back on that mask, and instead of the woman he talked to in the kitchen, it's Marilyn again, and Marilyn knocks it out of the park. And it's Barbara is sent away. I loved the ending lines to this because it is Sam and Al away from they're watching basically Marilyn get a next picture, and Sam genuinely thinks he's done it. He's done it. He's talked to Marilyn, got her at least a little bit of help. He's got her into a movie. She's made it. He thinks, I've done it. Then Al hits the bombshell, which is that no, in fact, you've only given her about 2 years left.
Yeah. She still dies, and on the day that she died in our reality. So.
Yeah, and so that almost immediately deflates Sam, and who goes. And she goes like, I only saved her life to put her. And he's like, I was like, there are some things in this world that you can delay, but you can't fix. And this was, and what I like about that is that it's not the date of Marilyn's death that is the fixed point. It is the fact of Marilyn Monroe is destined to die the way she did, sadly, very, very sadly, is the fixed point. And so all Sam has done is given one more movie, one more farewell to everyone. And even Al goes, man, what a picture.
I mean,
Goodbye, Norma Jean. Though I never knew you at all,
oh my,
you had the grace to hold yourself while those around you
oh my
crawled.
God! Wait a minute.
Goodbye, Norma Jean, from the young man in the 22nd row, who sees you as something more than sexual, more than just our Marilyn Monroe.
So, like, I just
Yeah.
realized as you were doing that, hey, what did Elton John remix that song to do in tribute of, like 20 years later, or who
Candle in the
rather,
wind.
Candle in the Wind, and who was it in tribute of in the 90s?
Marilyn Monroe?
No, 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 in the 90s
Oh,
when it came
Princess
back.
Diana.
Lake to Die For. It all connects. The synchronicity
Oh
bullshit.
my
Okay, okay,
God.
okay. Before we get caught up in this whirlpool, final thoughts on Goodbye Norma Jean?
It's hard. It really is hard. This is one of those hard ones because it is a whitewashing, and you cannot forgive it for being a whitewashing of history. But there are bits in here that really try to stick out of the true history of 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 how troubled Marilyn Monroe was, and especially that ending where you get Al saying, "Sometimes all you can do is delay." That should have. By the way, that should have come about like 2 seasons previously. Just forewarning, that message should have been about 2 seasons previously. But we're just gonna put that over there. Um, but yeah, if I had to give a score, 6.
Yeah, I feel like it's also 6. It's honestly a bit mixed. Like I like when Sam and Marilyn are just walking around together, but then you have the whole subplot with the friggin' actress, and frankly, I think it would be a lot stronger if Sam was helping her through her addiction. That it wasn't some outside force that said, "Hey, why don't you have this orange drink?" I think it was her choices. Marilyn was the one who was making the choices, and then at the end, and he helps her through this period of her life, and she has the strength to go and deliver a good enough performance to get into a John Huston film.
You would like one strobe over the line.
I was just thinking that he was that.
You you would really like one strobe
That's
over
the
the
exact
line.
episode you just pitched, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
it's just it's just a random ordinary person, but she's got a drug problem, and Sam is there. In the original history, she dies of an overdose, and so Sam is there to try and save her from that and stop her, and all the stuff you just mentioned.
Her withdrawal, man.
Yeah.
Oh my
Which makes
god.
which makes
Oh
this
my
episode going for
god.
there's an evil girl, kind of even more perplexing.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
to give my
it feels like, I'm sorry, Fres. It feels like what they tried to do was they tried to be like, let's feed in a bit of how bad Hollywood was at the time, when it's like that that doesn't fit with Marilyn. Marilyn would have never. No.
And if you are gonna do let's fit with how bad Hollywood was at the time, why the fuck is it a girl who is making things worse and not, one of the suits?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So as for me with Goodbye Norma Jean, it's okay. It's an adequate leap. I do like the drama between Sam and Marilyn. It's very nice. I like her insistence on her being just Norma Jean and how Marilyn's a persona. It's good. Things are not as good as they could be because they're constrained by the fact that it's a celebrity leap and some of the decisions to make, like Barbara having an actual villain in Barbara instead of, as Sean said, her own very human weaknesses. limits the thing, as does the ending. It's a celebrity quantum leap, and those had a limit point that the show very quickly reached before its impending cancellation. So it's good. It's not great, but well, it's not the worst thing ever, but we could see the worst thing ever or the best thing ever, depending on the whims of the wheel, which our good friend John Dillon will now spin.
Oh God, here we go, ladies and gentlemen, and once again, the wheel has decided to.
I am making no strong judgments on the wheel one way or another.
Oh no!
I don't like that laugh. Okay.
I think we're finishing.
I think my prediction is he just hit me. I have to watch In the Mirror Darkly.
Yeah, it's something like that.
Oh.
Let's see.
Or it's the Evil Leapers. Or it's Evil Leapers again.
Well, let him say it.
So I mentioned that there was a Twin Peaks project.
Yep.
You landed on the 16 reasons.
No.
Let him finish.
So one of the things I was excited for the Twin Peaks project was a single episode late in the project that Fresno knows.
Yes! Yes!
Oh my God, I hate that.
Also, we are going to have a special guest for this one.
Who?
Hoomst.
Lena, oh no.
Oh, bitches.
Oh.
Okay. Okay, put it on the record, Sean. Put it on the record for the people who don't know why we're cackling. What are we doing? Next time on Quantum Leap Reviews. Go.
Next time on Quantum Leap Reviews, Twin Peaks The Return. Gotta light.
I genuinely hate this because this episode feels so like when I went through Twin Peaks, this was the one episode which did not fit with any it was
okay.
It was to me it was the bad episode.
Mike,
Peaks.
Mike, we have a whole other podcast in 2 weeks to hash this out, but with all due respect, you're out of your goddamn mind. This is a masterpiece of filmmaking.
We almost got Oz the Great and Powerful or The Haunting of Hill House, 2018.
Ooh.
So we would have. So basically, we were screwed either way.
All right.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, we were all screwed either way. So, but
no, this is the best case scenario. Oh,
yeah.
This is us winning.
This is good. This is good. It's torture for Mike because he didn't like. Maybe he'll like it. Maybe he'll like it on the second view. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe I'll like it this time around. But when I first watched it, Gotta Light was the bad episode.
Okay,
because it really just felt like. What I liked about Twin Peaks was Twin Peaks, especially at the beginning in Firewalk.
Mike, we have next week.
We have
I know, but I'm getting this out of my system now. What I liked about Twin Peaks was the fact of it was centralized in the town. Yes, you had the Red Room, but it was also centralized in the small town area. Everything happened there.
I can argue against
Gotta
this.
Light was basically. And then Gotta Light was basically so about 30 years ago in the desert.
I could argue against this, but we're saving gas in the tank for next. I just want to share a personal story of mine. The one time I watched this episode, it was I want to say it was February 2024, and so the way the house is set up, the living room here, the window faces westward. And so, on those winter days, the sun starts to shine through that window in about the mid-afternoon. This is around the time I tried to watch the episode, and I had the laptop plugged into the television and watching the episode. And at a certain point, I had to get up and actually stare at the laptop because the sun was glaring onto the thing, and it's all in black and white. It's darkest night. I couldn't see a goddamn thing.
Yep.
But this time, I will do it I'll do it in the nighttime. I don't give a shit. I'll be able to see it in all its wonderful glory. So we're going to talk about an episode of Twin Peaks Return, David Lynch's final masterpiece.
I just realized something.
Yeah.
We got A Little Miracle to begin the Christmas season. Little Miracle to begin the Christmas season, which in this episode we all enjoyed.
Then
Murder
Fletcher.
She Wrote isn't a total like Christmas present for me. It isn't, but you know Little Miracle could be seen as Fresno's.
Could it? I don't know. It was fine.
And then you have Sean's Christmas present.
Jingle, jingle, jingle. Yeah.
Next week I roll. Well, next time I roll.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You'll see. You'll probably get an Ozzy.
Next time on the wheel, we're probably gonna get the freaking Whiz.
Well, Murder, She Wrote was your present. You got to Fletcher it up anyway. But either way, you can find us lovely people on Bluesky down below. Mike has a blog and a letterbox. What have you been up to?
On my letterbox, I have been reviewing a lot of stuff to the point where I think Fresno has gotten one too many dings off of.
No, it's okay. They only show like the last one you did on the front timeline if you
the few movies I've watched, especially this week. This week I've my NaNoWriMo November this time around has been super crazy, so I don't think I'm even gonna reach my modified goal of 30. But I have been doing some reviews as well to kind of keep me going and keep me doing the thing of you're writing every day. So so all that week I was watching stuff like a comedy documentary, or I watched Doctor Who: The Edge of Destruction, which is literally one of my favorite episodes. A Leap to Die For, The Murder, She Wrote, A Story to Die For, which is a completely different, which is literally the last traditional Murder, She Wrote story.
Oh,
and Cagney and Lacey: The Return, which is basically the reuniting of the classic cop duo. I think nearly almost a decade after Lacey retires.
I see.
So, but yeah, that's pretty much how. Basically, my time, especially this past week, has been just watch media. Just sit down and watch stuff. Because
what a great idea.
Yeah.
What a concept.
Yeah, just sit down and at least watch like 2 things and log everything. I haven't even logged everything yet that I've watched.
Yeah, well, that's how it is. Sean, how about you?
Well, I've also been watching media for a bit, though I'm mostly focused on doing some reviews over on The Beat. I'm currently working on a book, which I should be getting back to this Monday. The chapter I'm working on is going to start with a massive section on January 6th. So I'm going to have fun.
Yay, what a good time you're going to have. Ooh.
Could you, please next time, can we not have It's a Wonderful Leap? I understand it
we have to reckon with the cameo at some point. We have to kill the cameo at some point.
I know, but
hopefully maybe it'll not happen until 2029.
Maybe.
Well, I mean, like, what? We're doing, what? It'd be like 30...
We're going to be finished this podcast before 2029, aren't we?
True. I don't know how long Doctor Who seasons will cause us to have to take a break.
Yeah, well, next year we won't have a break.
Yeah, we got a year because Doctor Who's dead forever!
Yeah, next year we won't have a break. We'll only have a break for the Christmas episode, in which which apparently Paul McGann's returning.
You can't just
Look, that has been on every news media. That is not a spoiler at this point.
Yeah, though supposedly that's AI bullshit, though.
Yeah.
Gross. Yeah, well, so,
but yeah, what have you been doing, Fresno?
Finishing NaNoWriMo, making you hang on to my every word and yell and scream and pull up your cannon and threaten to shoot me if I commit to the terrible things that I've put characters through.
See, the thing with the canon, I'm going to state this for the fact, and I've actually used it on podcasts before. The reason with the canon is everyone has their own, like, oh, let me go get something. And it's usually, and I want to make mine unique. Everyone tries to make their own unique thing when they try to do that. And the first thing my brain went to was I think when I first used it, I had just finished watching. Oh God, what was it? I can't fully remember the month, but my brain immediately went, I'm getting canon. And I've been using it ever since, and it's unique.
Yeah, there you go.
So, don't you have a thing that you do in December?
Oh, yes.
Things.
Yes, I do, and I'm going to talk about this, but before I preface it, I'm gonna say to you two, settle the fuck down. It's not done yet.
Next time on Christmas, day 1, Mr. Boss on the snap.
What did I just say? God damn it!
I mean, it's either that or the Platform 8.
What did I just say? I'm surrounded by torturers! Do you see what I had to go through, podcast listening crew? But no, I don't know when this is going up because tomorrow I have Common Rider podcast and Sunday I want to do this, which is going to be the announcement of Fresmas, whatever the hell number it is. And there are going to be rules, so you can settle down immediately. But
it might, funny enough, it might, given how you actually are very diligent with these podcast releases. I'm not digging at anyone, clearly. I'm not digging at anyone, clearly. But
I'm right here.
No, not you, Sean.
Rain has a work from home job. Be nice.
Yeah, good point. But anyway, what I love about how is you could probably put this out on Monday or Tuesday.
Well, I might go for Monday. I don't want to bury the Fresmas announcement too hard, so we'll see. Whenever you hear this, probably by then Fresmas will be. But of course, by then, because at this point, because I'm so obscure, Fresmas is practically a nepotism project where it's just all my friends get to pick games for me.
But
maybe one or two randos.
16. I counted. No, I think 15. We're 15.
I don't fucking know at this point, but
we are on 15 Fresmases.
Yeah.
Holy cow!
I mean, for God's sakes,
you were amazing.
For God's sake, I mean, you were a child when you found my original Let's Play content, and now you're grown up on this thing, which is scary considering how me yelling "fuck" at Zelda 2 was a formative childhood memory for this man. Maybe it explains a lot about how he turned out. I'm to blame.
No, well, it's not just you. It would be Lord Vega, you. It would be Lord Vega, you, Nakatalili, which you said you know of.
I know of.
Plus,
think
like a lot of your friends. Yeah. Plus, like a lot of your friends. So,
yeah,
so it's your whole group. Look
well,
what
me.
we fought. Not Sean. Sean, you came.
Not Sean.
Yeah, we interacted later. I'm talking like the OG Let's Play crew that I had back in 2008.
Rizu. What was it? Rizu.
Beep, Rizu, Rainiac, Lord Vega, Zagat. Oh God. No, he was
Ozzy.
Pale Voyager.
Pale Voyager.
Yeah.
Pale, which makes me laugh. So I try. MC Gammer is another one that I came to mind.
I don't know who that is.
Which is a very one. Yeah. But yeah, like again, like I grew up in the YouTube Wild West days when YouTube felt like how cable used to be way back in the day.
Yeah, you could basically do whatever the fuck.
There was like Italy. Yeah, there was anything you could do, and now it's like very structured. You must do this.
Well, I mean, I don't give a shit. But either way,
where you could get episodes of Doctor Who streamed on YouTube
No,
in
no, no,
15
no.
minutes.
For me, it was the anime split up into 3 chunks of 7 minutes each. That was the ticket. That was the Wild West days I remember. But before we get too wild in our nostalgia, let's sign off on this bad boy. Thank you very much for watching our episode on Goodbye Norma Jean. We hope you enjoyed.
And join
our
us for
discussion.
join us for Christmas Day 1. It's free.
You just made that fucking joke! God damn it! No! I'm not getting tortured. You're getting tortured because join us in 2 weeks when we talk about Twin Peaks: The Return, episode 8, and we discuss that the atom bomb is the reason for all the darkness in America. It's the fault of the atom bomb and split the atom and split the whole reality and let the evils of the world seep through. All I do is got a light. Yeah. This is the water. This is the well. Good night, everybody, and see you next time. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.